Well, as the comedian Ron White would say, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Then find someone whose life is giving them vodka and have a party. I would get the Farmer Tech G372 XP, but the idle speed is way off. I mean, it has no effect. The chain keeps running, so there's an air leak, like the carb is not attached right or something. It feels a little loose. I had that OEM tank swapped in, but today I'm going to be running the Neo-Tec NH843. In the ash logs, I got about 5 cords left in this pile. We'll see how far I can get, because I don't have my sharpening kit with me, so what I get out of today is what I get. Let's get cutting. So I was talking about that video where I said I'd be doing safety tips as they come up. Well, this is one. The chain is really aggressive how I got it set. So I have to move this log before those come tumbling down on me. See how fast that stuff can happen? And I thought this log pile was safe. It turns out just the opposite. Okay, I don't know if you could see me over there. Yeah, I probably could. Now I have to get these logs cleaned up before I can continue working on that. So these logs have a place to roll. Should I do something to make them roll? So then that one leaning up, going, you know, against the grain of the logs on the pile. I have to get that one out of the way. I'll just clean up these logs and get them moved out of the way before I go get that one that's propped up diagonally. It is now 2 days later since the last video segment because the weather took a turn for the worst. Temperature dropped like 8 or 9 degrees. It started snowing, and I went to split wood. I was going to keep cutting after splitting, but I was like, forget it. It was just too cold. But yeah, as you could see, what happened was, if you notice, especially in the hyperlapse, it's hard to tell sometimes, but that chain on that saw was way too aggressive by at least one stroke of the file. I should have only went 1 or 2. Instead, I did 3 because it was a brand new chain, and the depth was pretty shallow. So lesson learned. It would grab these logs and then just yank them. That's what happens when they're not locked in and they're this small and light. That's the problem with this size logs. This would be excellent on a Range Road processor or some other smaller processor like a Yappa 315 or 365. The Yappa 315 would have done 75-80% of these logs, no problem. Except something like this size might have been, on the bigger end for the Yappa 315, but I think I would have handled it, just fine. 4-way wedge or 6-way if I wanted, to get it smaller. It would have handled all these logs. So I'm thinking of one of those for safety when doing small logs as a processor like that. The 365 definitely would handle it, but you're looking at, 26 to 36,000 or 29 to 37,000, something like that for those two processors respectively. And to add on to the safety where I said about cutting logs off in here, I cut a piece off here so I could get up in here and work on this section of logs. So my plan next is to get my 20-inch Neo-Tec saw that's in the back of the truck gassed up so I can reach over these logs. That 14-inch bar is way too short to be doing this work, so I'm going to have to probably roll that one down, get this one, see if, okay, well, solve that problem. right to the boiler wood pile. So I'll have to roll some logs down, you know, to make it a little safer, and then I can maybe run a tank through with that 20-inch saw before I pull out the big one to get these logs cut. So yeah, that was it on that first safety video. You know, it felt good to change the angle of how I'm looking at this stuff. You know, anyone can cut firewood, you know, and those videos have been done to death, general cutting firewood. It's the way you approach the videos, and if you learn something yourself, you know, that the firewood people should pass that on. Instead, a lot of them are just still cutting and splitting and doing the same thing, and there's no variety. I find a lot of firewood channels boring now. I just watch them for the monologue sections, you know, for the most part. You know, because I'm doing this all the time, you know, and I'm thinking, you know, see what the monologue section says before I, you know, watch any of the action. You know, I listen to the monologue, see if I'm gonna be able to pick up some tips on, you know, on the type of work for the day, you know, do something better. But, you know, I'll just skip through most of the work. Yeah, definitely get that log rolled down. This one and this one for the next video. Yeah, this little bit of snow, it froze everything back down, so yeah, I could probably cut on it, but why'd take a chance? So till next, folks, take care, get out there, do something, have fun doing it.